yes, well, I'm a little bit late. But when you look at this hindsight 2020, it's better than never, first of all. But also, secondly, I'm doing this before the trucks and Xfinity races that are set to take place today. Both at the same time, kind of like back in the old days where, yeah, trucks and Xfinity go on the same day for over Atlanta. You know, whereas Xfinity went first, and then trucks finished off the day by going into the night. So, I mean, you had that pretty much. So, you know, I guess that's how it'd be here. But welcome to episode 21 of the NASCAR Pit Stop Show. As always, Elijah Leonard with you here. I'm the only one here for this episode. Wyatt said that he would be able to join. He would be able to get up and join if he could. But I also kind of figured in the back of my mind he may not be able to because sleep. You know, it's just sleep. A lot of people really do like sleep. And I bet Wyatt is one of those people that really does like sleep. I know Amy really loves sleep, and she could sleep an entire day if she wanted to. But, I mean, I could too. But at the same time, I don't like sleeping later on in the day because I feel like, the later you sleep in, the faster the day goes. That's just me. So I just try my best to wake up a little bit earlier in the morning, kind of like right around 7, 8-ish in the morning, kind of like right around this time, and just hope and pray that the day, I mean, just as far as time-wise, goes a little bit slow. But I do also have work today from 11 to 7. That's why I am streaming this right now. And I'm also hoping and praying. I'm gonna also check the computer to see if it's about 66 degrees outside last I saw on the weather. So I mean, it should be a little bit better to stream this, a little bit easier really. So plus I'm doing a new type of microphone stand. I just took some, like, basically, if you remember the lights, like the studio light that Amy got me for my birthday, I took I took the stand, I took the actual microphone off the mic stand, and I put it on the studio light stand, and then put the pop filter on, and this is kind of the new setup. Yes, I will still use the studio light. That is once I get tired of this setting, and then I'll go back to the mic stand. So, I mean, that's just me, though. But, so, let's get to the main premise of why I'm here. And that is to review Sonoma and Mid-Ohio. As far as Mid-Ohio is concerned, it looked like it was a really good race. I thought for a second that Ty Gibbs would be just another, I guess you could say, type of leech in the field. He's kind of an ARCA leech, even though he's never been in any other series higher. There is Xfinity, but however, though, he's not full-time in Xfinity. He was set to run 14 races this year. But I was hoping that it wouldn't be Ty Gibbs. Thank goodness it wasn't. But man, just that restart where Allmendinger ended up taking the lead away, that was chaotic. And then I think it was Hendrick that went around. Man, there was just a lot of chaos. But one thing in particular that I kind of thought was so sad, so sad, about the race, Noah Gragson ended up getting taken out in a crash on the first lap in the first turn. Never even made it a lap. Man, I just feel bad for him. I really do. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. But the Mid Ohio race was actually, I'd say it was pretty good. As far as Sonoma is concerned, the Cup Series first trip back to Sonoma since the pandemic even began last year. And then, since the first time that they were there since 2019, before the pandemic, to really rephrase. I'd say it was a pretty solid return. I mean, obviously, one thing that kind of sticks out to me, a couple things really that stick out to me the most in that race is this rejuvenated rivalry between Michael McDowell and Daniel Suarez, where I think McDowell got to Suarez, bumped him, turned him around or something like that, or moved him up out of the way. And then coming to turn 11 a little bit later on, Suarez gets to McDowell and punts him on the exit of turn 11. And then there was the discussion that happened on pit road. Thank goodness it didn't lead to blows. That's one thing that kind of sticks out in my head. But another thing is that Kyle Larson gets his second straight win out of three this year, really, to clarify. But his second straight win. This is his first. Yeah, this has to be his first time that he's won back-to-back Cup races. But this is his third win of the season, and honestly, I think he's doing really good this year. This is his first road course win. For his first trip back to Sonoma, he wins, which is actually pretty impressive when you really think about it. So, the grading portion of the Sonoma Mid Ohio weekend, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna give this a B+, man. Like, if I had actually watched those races, like the full complete races, then I probably would have given this maybe a grade higher, maybe like an A- or something like that. But I'm just gonna say B+. Mainly just from what I've seen from highlights and stuff like that. So, as we get into topics, some of the breaking stories that I can think of off the top of my head, just a few things is that, first of all, the future of Jeff Gordon in the Fox Sports booth is kind of unknown right now, because there's a chance that he could take on a much bigger role over at Hendrick Motorsports, and this seems like a pretty big deal for him, because I think for a long time he had been wanting to search for a bigger opportunity at Hendrick Motorsports, and now that this has possibly come up for Jeff, this might be his last season in the booth, but I don't know. At the same time, nobody really knows right now. So man, I'm tired. This is what happens when you wake up early in the morning too, and that's a downer. But no, anyways, I'm just saying that it is kind of interesting, but that this might happen, because as I said, Jeff has been looking for a bigger role, a bigger opportunity at Hendrick Motorsports, and since this has come up, there is a chance that he might take it. But there also might be a chance to where he could stay in the booth, because I think he really is enjoying this 3-person booth with himself, Mike Joy and Clint Boyer. I mean, I think that is a really good combination. And Clint Boyer really does add on to the three-man group. And it's kind of similar to what Daryl did, but maybe just a skosh better, probably. Not to say that Daryl was a terrible color commentator, but I'd say he was a good one at best, even though he kind of went off the rails. But that's how Daryl was. But Clint is kind of the same way. He's kind of the same way, but I think someone that I think a lot of people nowadays really do enjoy. So right now, the future of Hendrick, of Jeff Gordon in the Fox Sports booth, like I said, that's kind of unknown. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about, and this was a question that kind of popped up. This was one of Bob Potter's questions that I want to give my opinion on, and this was immediately after Kyle Larson won at Sonoma. Is Kyle Larson the new road course king? And I thought to myself, what a stupid question to answer. Or really, what a stupid question to ask. Because, first of all, this is Kyle Larson's first road course win. His first ever road course win. Secondly, I wouldn't consider him a road course king just yet. Maybe give him time. Let's see if he wins Watkins Glen. Let's see if he wins Road America that's coming up on the schedule here in a little while. Let's wait until the Indy Road Course or the Charlotte Roval. I mean, you've got some other road courses to go through before you can call Kyle Larson the road course king. So, I mean, right now Chase Elliott is kind of up there because he's already won, let's see, he's already won the Roval, he's already won the Glen, he's already won the Daytona road course. Yeah, that sounds about right. So, he's already won 3 road courses. Twice at the Roval and Watkins Glen. And then once at the road course. So he's already got 5 road course wins under his belt. Maybe 6 if I'm missing some. If I'm missing one. But I probably am. But I don't know. But yeah. Oh, no. I am missing one. Coda. So 6. So I've almost forgot about Coda. but yeah. I would definitely say that. Kyle Larson is not... I'm not going to consider him the road course king. Just give him time. Let's wait until some of these other road courses come around. And then, if he wins, maybe the next, Road America Glen, Indy Road Course, Roval. Yeah, there's 4 more road courses on the schedule. So, let's wait until those next 4 races come around. If he wins maybe 2 out of the 4 or 3 out of the 4, if he wins all 4, if he's lucky enough, then maybe that question comes into play. I have no clue. I think that's pretty much all that I've got to say. So why don't we go ahead and preview All-Star Weekend. We've got the Truck Series and Xfinity Series today at 1 and 4 Eastern. We've got the All-Star Race taking place tomorrow night, so that will be a blast. Texas, it's one of those places where everything's big in Texas. So, you just gotta. I'd say these drivers will have to keep in mind that tire wear is something they're gonna have to watch out for. I'd say the same thing for maybe fuel management, but then again, this is the All-Star race is substantially shorter than any other race, so maybe tire wear. Well, tire wear is something that they're gonna have to watch out for anyway. And same goes for fuel management. Fuel management really though is not gonna be much of a factor in a short event like the All-Star race, but then again, I could be wrong. But yeah, those are some things to watch out for. But it's Texas, so anything can happen, and everything's big in Texas. I don't have points updated just yet. So when I give myself time, I will go back through the. Let's see. I'll definitely go back through episode 20. Go through mine and Wyatt's predictions. See who got what right, and then just work from there. I think I may have already done that, but I don't know for sure. But anyways, so our driver. So basically, how our predictions work, for those that are new, we give you a driver who we think is gonna win. That's pretty self-explanatory. The driver to stay away from is the driver who really hasn't been doing all that well the last couple of weeks. The dark horse is quite the opposite. It's 1 point per category. But since, we've got the All-Star race, I'm probably considering it being 2 points just specifically for the All-Star race. So, there's that. Excuse me. So, all of us have already put down our predictions. So I'm just gonna play that. There we go. And read off the predictions. So let's get that fired up. Here we go. So for Sean Ard, he chose, in the Truck Series, John Hunter Nemechek as the driver to win. His driver to stay away from, Chandler Smith. His dark horse, Ben Rhodes. That seems like pretty solid for trucks. His Xfinity predictions goes as follows. His driver to win, Austin Cindric. His driver to stay away from, Justin Haley. And his dark horse, Josh Berry. And for Cup, the All-Star race, his driver to win, and I kind of like this one, Kyle Larson. His driver to stay away from, Cole Custer. The dark horse, Chase Elliott. For the Truck Series on Zachary Taylor's end, he chose John Hunter Nemechek as the driver to win. The driver to stay away from, Todd Gilliland. His dark horse, Austin Hill. For his Xfinity predictions, he chose Josh Berry as the driver to win. His driver to stay away from, Jeremy Clements. And his dark horse, Landon Castle. And for the All-Star race, he chose Chase Elliott as the driver to win. His driver to stay away from, Kurt Busch. And his dark horse, Kyle Larson. And for Wyatt's predictions, which he had just recently put in, his driver to win, John Hunter Nemechek. I think a lot of people are going to be pulling for John Hunter to win this. His driver to stay away from, Haley Deegan. That one I slightly disagree with, but you know what? It's his predictions anyways. And his dark horse, Ben Rhodes. For Xfinity, he chose Austin Cindric as his driver to win. Yes, I said Cindric because his phone auto-corrected and spelled Cindric's name C-E-N-D-R-I-C, when it's really C-I-N-D-R-I-C. His driver to stay away from, Myatt Snyder. And his dark horse, Daniel Hendrick. See, he spelled Hendrick 99% right. He needs to drop the second E between the M and the R. But I'm going to say Daniel Hendrick is going to be the better course. And for his All-Star predictions, his driver to win, Kyle Larson. His driver to stay away from, Michael McDowell. And his dark horse, Christopher Bell. And for my predictions, last but certainly not least, I think this is going to be a pretty big sweep across the board if this should happen. To win for trucks, John Hunter Nemechek. Driver to stay away from, Tanner Gray. And the dark horse, Sheldon Creed. For Xfinity, my driver to win, Noah Gragson. Driver to stay away from, Michael Annett. And dark horse, Austin Cindric. And for my All-Star predictions, my driver to win, Martin Truex Jr. Driver to stay away from, Cole Custer. And the dark horse, Kyle Larson. Alright, so those are our predictions for Texas between the trucks, Xfinity, and Cup races. So should be a very good weekend. I mean, especially for racing. So you know, it's gonna be fun. Hopefully, you guys are able to tune into that action. I'm not gonna be able to because you know I don't have the account for on YouTube TV to watch, and also number 2, I'm at work from 11 to 7, so I won't be able to watch anything between now and then, so I'll have to watch highlights as soon as I get home. But anyways, that's gonna do it for this episode. Thank you guys a lot for watching. If you liked the video, go ahead and give it a like, and if you have not considered subscribing, I recommend you do so in order to keep up with some fine content coming out in the near future. I promise I'll have more energy tonight, actually. In another 12 hours, we're 11 o'clock, episode 6 will be going live, so hopefully you guys can tune in for that. But either way, I'm Elijah Leonard signing out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.